Hello most amazing top teners, how are you doing today? I'm Rebecca Felgate and I'm sorry to sound totally dramatic, but today we are talking how to survive World War III. Don't worry though, this list isn't to scare you, it's to help you prepare if the time ever comes. Okay, let's get right on into our list. In at number 10, we have consider getting out of the city. Cities are known targets in times of war. The cities of London, Berlin, Warsaw, Nagasaki, Sarajevo, and many more were devastated in parts as a result of World War II. Cities have always been targets, and in World War III, wherever it may strike and whomever it may involve, cities will be dangerous places. However, it is important to realise that they also have their benefits, such as more readily available food and medical supplies. Coming in at number 9, we have know how to respond to different attacks. Different attacks warrant different responses. If your location is being bombed with non-nuclear missiles, then you need to switch off the electricity and shut off the gas in your house to save it from exploding and catching fire. Also, following a non-nuclear bombing, it is safe to go outside and rescue people. However, during a nuclear attack, things are very different. We've actually made a whole video on how to survive a nuclear attack, which goes into a lot of detail on how you should respond. Again, different aircrafts have different sounds, as do different weapons. It is worth knowing what's coming. Coming in at number 8, we have hide out or get in a fallout bunker. Following the aftermath of the Cold War in America, a lot of people had fallout bunkers dug into their gardens. Similarly, during World War II, people across Europe had small bunkers to hide out in while their city was in an air attack. In case of a Third World War, you should know where your nearest shelters are, or even consider creating one of your own. Some families had enough supplies in them to survive for years, so it could be an option to simply get underground and try and wait out the war. That said, at some point you will need to come up for air. Coming in at number 7, we have gather food and water supplies. During wartime, economies continue and you will in theory still be able to live a reasonably normal life. That said, it's likely that food will be rationed, unavailable, or more expensive than usual. Already having a stock of tinned goods and dry food can be an absolute saviour in wartime, meaning that you know that you will not go hungry for a long time. Having a food stock is also the key to survival in a nuclear attack, as you will need to be inside for a week or more. Similarly, you will need lots of bottled water in case the tap supply is contaminated or shut off. You also need lots of vitamins and even ionizing tablets. Coming in at number 6, we have gather medical supplies. The same goes for medical supplies as it does for food and water supplies. In wartime, it will be harder to get hold of medicines. If you are able to keep an emergency stock of all things you personally need to stay healthy, then this could end up saving your life. Stocking up on plasters or band-aids, antibacterial wipes, antibacterial cream, dressings, medical alcohol, and other things along those lines will also help you. I would also recommend stocking up on contact lenses and glasses if you wear them, as it would be really awful to not be able to see in wartime. Coming in at number 5, we have brush up on your survival skills. If by any chance you find yourself evacuated from your home in wartime, your knowledge of survival skills will be imperative. Learning how to build and start a fire, how to create shelter in all conditions, and how to forage for food and water will help you live in unusual environments. Also, knowing what to wear, where to go, and what to look out for could save your life. Coming in at number 4, we have stay connected. If there is another world war, our generation is at an advantage to previous generations who've had to live through war because we are more connected than ever. Keep a charged mobile phone for emergencies, listen to radio for announcements, watch television, read the news, look out for what people are saying on Twitter. If there is news on what is happening in the war, you will want to hear it, especially if it's advice for survival, evacuation, or even advance warning of an attack. Coming in at number 3, we have know your enemy. It is important that in times of war, civilians do not turn on one another. Knowing your enemy will hopefully create a bigger picture and a greater sense of camaraderie between you and your fellow survivors. The war will likely be between governments and organised groups rather than between civilians, which is very important to remember. In immediate war times, looters and gangs may emerge, but as best you can, you should keep order and peace with your fellow man. Building on from that, coming into number 2, we have keep calm and carry on. You simply must. The world might be falling apart, but if you want to survive, you simply cannot. Yes, you need to be alert, but you should not be panicked. If you are to get through this, you need to have a strong mind and a healthy body, which should be your primary focus during wartime. There will be a time for sadness, loss and mourning, but for now, you need to be strong for yourself, for your family and for your country. Coming in at number 1 of our top 10 ways to survive World War III, we have document your experience. Not only will this be important for your sanity, but it may be helpful in years to come. War diaries and journals, etc. are of huge importance for historians to know what happened and how it happened. Not to be morbid, but even if you die, your words will immortalize you. If you don't die, it's likely that the war will be the most emotionally traumatic period of your life, and you will want to document that for your future self. I would also be maybe a touch careful on how I documented things though. If you're under enemy rule, you're gonna want to keep your documentation very secret. Okay, so that was the top 10 ways to survive World War III. I for one really hope it never comes to it, but if it does, at least now we will be prepared. Let's talk about happy things in the comment section down below. Unicorns, rainbows, marshmallows. All good things. I'm Rebecca Felgate, this has been Most Amazing Top 10. If you like this video and you found it very helpful, then make sure you give us a good thumbs up, share it with someone who might want to survive, and of course stay subscribed to Most Amazing Top 10, and I will see you next time.